everyone. Hit that thumbs up button,
Young
please.
blood made of gold, a mind you can't control. Running wild, can't come down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. If for a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. If for a second I can feel like this, make me feel like this.
Well, hello, everyone. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Today is April 3rd, 2024, 8:49 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Good to see you all. Good to see you all in chat. Thank you all for joining me. How did the search go today? There was a lot of people, and from what I understand, they are going and basically retracing all of the things that they have searched before, going over. So, yes, Cece, we're getting ready to talk about that. Getting ready to talk about it. So, what do you guys think? Remember, we went over Nancy's interview with Chris, right? Chris and Katie. And Nancy offered a polygraph. Well, he said, "You name the place, the time, when, and where, and I'll take it." But remember, it was told to me that allegedly, I told you guys before, Chris pitched a biatch whenever Katie allegedly took hers. Do you guys think Chris took it? Do you think he took that test? Nope. Nope. He didn't. And his reasoning, he says, is because TBI said, no, you shouldn't take it. Now, the last time I checked, this is nothing that would convict him in court at all. It wouldn't be used for TBI purposes in the first place because it wouldn't be administered by TBI. And it's a free country. It's a free country. That's it, Tar. Yeah, I forgot. It's against HIPAA. Should have known. Should have known. Darn it. Hate it when that happens. Oh my God, this man, I'm telling you. What happened to being vetted? Right? Good point, runs with scissors. He said he was vetted and cleared. There's no sense in him not taking it, in my opinion. Thank you, Bet. Or I don't know if is it Betty or Bet? I always ask you that, and I always forget. I'm so sorry. Um, so Nancy just did a interview. What's on our podcast right now? It's not up on video yet. There is a couple clips up on video, but the overall it is yes. Thank God. Thank God. And there is supposed to be more happening this weekend as well. And, I feel pretty confident if EquiSearch is there and he is in that area, any area where they are looking, they will find him. And that is exactly right. Uh, exactly, Lisa. TBI is not his attorneys. TBI is not his attorneys, and they will never give you advice in what you should or you shouldn't do. It has nothing to do with it. It has absolutely nothing. So I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. Oh, this wasn't the one. So, guys, we're going to go over the podcast. There is a couple links that she that is up on Nancy's channel. Links are provided if you want to hear them uninterrupted and without my commentary. Make sure you hit the link below. That will take you to Nancy Grace's channel and her podcast. The video is not out yet of the podcast. She always drops it on the podcast first and then she uploads it. They upload it to YouTube. But they did give us a couple videos already. And this is the one talking about did Chris, thank you, Border Girl, did Chris take this lie detector and or polygraph?
Dad, his bio dad, Sebastian, Seth, I don't understand that because he told me he would take a polygraph if I set it up. I set it up. I went through a lot of hoops to get it set up. One convenient to him in the area where he says he's working. Then he wouldn't take it and blames the TBI. So now I find out he's told other outlets he's taken one and passed. Do you know the truth?
Oh, he's allegedly telling other outlets that he has taken one and passed. Where did you take one at, Chris? Where did you take one at? I don't think, I haven't heard of him taking one and passed. Did he take one and passed like he said they have been vetted and cleared? Is that what we're talking about? Asking. I don't think he took one either. Exactly. Why lie about something? He has every right, and I want to make that clear. He has every right not to take a lie detector test. He has every right. I mean, I my opinion, at least, if why not? You say you're innocent and listen, even and I want to make this clear as well. The police have not named Chris or Katie as suspects, but they say they are keeping all options on the table. So there's that. So, I'm not really buying it. How do you order a lie detector test online? I don't think you can do a lie detector test online. I mean, he probably bought, maybe allegedly, I don't know, bought a lie detector test for maybe like Wish, Timu, not sponsored, but if you want to. You know, so just saying. Hold on, my eyelash is coming off. I got ready. I literally got ready in the fastest I think I've ever gotten ready in my life. I've been cleaning all day. So, he may have gotten it from there. May have gotten it from there. I don't know. But he's telling allegedly other outlets that he's even passed.
I don't. I really don't know. But I'll tell you what. I volunteered to take polygraph. I was told that I wasn't. I didn't need to because they have my location and whereabouts. But I still volunteered. And if somebody wants me to take one, that's something of my own free will. I haven't been told by TBI that I can't take one.
Yeah, he hasn't been told by TBI or anything that he can't take one, because they're not going to care if you take a lie detector test, because the questions will be differently. It's up to the instructor or the police or whoever is giving you the lie detector test. The questions would be different to begin with. It's not going to convict you. It's not going to do anything other than you took a lie detector test. That's it. That's it. All right. So we are going to listen to Nancy Grace's podcast. For the link is in the description for, again, the uninterrupted me without my commentary on this. Turn this music off for a second. I have not listened to this, so we'll be listening to it together. Just dropped a little bit ago. One second. We're gonna get a commercial. Oh, Tesla. What's Otesla for?
People see.
Otezla is the #1 prescribed pill to treat plaque psoriasis.
Okay.
Otezla can help you get
Plaque psoriasis. Usually you can pass through the ads, but I guess you can't this one right now. 1 second. It's 28 seconds long. Jesus. That's okay. I mean, we all gotta have ads. I get it. I can't really bitch, but think you're guilty, don't I? Exactly, CD. I mean, exactly. Why do they care so? I mean, it's like if
Place right now as we speak for Sebastian Rogers, the missing autistic boy. What does that mean?
Can y'all hear that? Just let me know.
Is there new information that has not been released to us? Has a location been identified that is more important than other locations? This is unusual for a research of an area that may have already been searched. What precipitated the new search? This, as we learn, eyeglasses have.
Okay. Do you guys think that they're just going over who gave Katie the lie detector test? TBI. TBI did. Now, do you guys think that they found some new intelligence, some new tips related to is why they are going really hot and heavy with the search? Or do you think it's just just verifying that this is what, going over it once again just to make sure? They could have felt like they missed something. Yes. Yeah. Were the glasses found near CP's mom's house? The glasses, and I told you guys this yesterday. I know someone that was fairly with a really good source uh, related to those glasses, and the glasses were and are not his. And Nancy will tell you this right now. The glasses, they, from what I understand, they look like old reading glasses, like you would get from like the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General, as we say. Elizabeth, Survivor 67, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my love. Y'all, please welcome Elizabeth to, she is now a Pearl.
Have been found. Are they Sebastian's? First of all, on the new search, joining me, Lauren Conlon, investigative reporter and host of The Outlier. Lauren, thank you for being with us. I understand that a new search has just been launched. Who, what, where, when, why? Tell me.
Yes. So as you said, Nancy, it's in Hendersonville, and it's the same areas, and it's sheriffs in Sumner County and counties all over, and it's EMS workers, and it's more volunteers, and I believe it is the Sumner County EMS is saying 6 to 10 miles and so on. So this happened this morning. This is breaking news. They are saying this has nothing to do with the press conference yesterday with the glasses found, but that is all we know.
Guys, when you hear...
Now, I'll be honest with you. I was, yesterday after that press conference, I was just, I don't know what I was yesterday after that press conference. I knew that's what they were likely to give, which was absolutely nothing. They gave us nothing. They gave us absolutely nothing yesterday. Border Girl, welcome. Thank you so much. Welcome to the family, my dear. Appreciate you. You are now a Pearl. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my love. Deflated, yeah. I mean, that was a good word. I was just in, it was a nothing burger. Yes, Melissa, exactly. I don't know. It was just, to me, it was odd timing. It was odd timing. You know what I mean? Did they just do that to tamp down anything? Did they do that for, do they need, people to still cooperate? What do they need? What do they need? Why do they do it? I mean, they don't have to have a reason. And again, they don't have to share anything with us. But yeah, the glasses is nothing. It's nothing. And to be honest with you, wherever little Sebastian is right now, I hope he's okay. And I hope he has his glasses on him and we don't find them only found on him. I pray. Yep, I'm nosy. Oh my God, thank you for gifting 5 memberships, my dear. That is so generous of you. My thing is not wanting to work here. So we need to do a membership application, Nosy. Let's do it.
This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 express train.
On the
The
sub.
next stop is Fulton Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Going to the courthouse. Let's go.
My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.
Well, you are approved for the 5 new members. Thank you so much, Nosy. That's very sweet, very generous of you. If you was one of the new pearls, you are approved. Please thank our sweet little Nosy in here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my dear. Yaya missing in Tennessee. Thank you so much for your super sticker. It's very generous of you, and I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why Chris won't do it. You know, I think honestly, if he would do a lie detector test and, you know, publicize his results, I think with that and with what maybe TBI is saying, it, you know, more people may change their minds. I don't know. Yes, for those of you that just coming in, uh, we played a clip Nancy played earlier, and in that clip, of, you know, when what it was a week or two ago, whenever Chris and Katie did their interview with Nancy, Chris said, "Of course, just tell me when and where, and I'll be glad to do the lie detector test." And guess what? He didn't do it. And Nancy said she worked really hard trying to get him a lie detector test. Chris claims that TBI told him not to do the lie detector test. I can't imagine why. It's a free country. It has nothing to do with TBI. It has absolutely nothing to do with TBI. TBI would not accept the results either way because TBI gives those results to them. They do it in-house. They do their own lie detector test, polygraphs. In my opinion, it's not because, in my opinion, I want to make that clear. It's not because TBI said anything. I think he would not do a lie detector test for the TBI, and he obviously wasn't going to do it for anyone else. That's just my opinion. You guys can feel how you feel and think how you think, but that's how I feel about it. All right, let's continue. This is new with Chris with Nancy Grace. By the way, I hope everyone's okay with
Lauren Collin, who's been on the case from the very beginning of
the storms have been really bad. I hope everyone's safe and all your families are safe. It's been really nasty the last couple days.
missing autistic boy Sebastian Rogers. When you hear her say volunteers, there's a caveat to that. They are law enforcement, EMTs, people in the criminal law business, all banding together for a new search. This, as we learn, that glasses have been found, glasses found. That could be very significant. And joining me is someone who is acutely aware of all the facts surrounding that pair of glasses. Seth Rogers is.
Seth Rogers, God loves Seth. He is the sweetest, most kind guy. And guys, I don't know how in the world this man is still, it's nothing but the love of God, the love for his son, and all of our prayers that he is still going. That's it. Because he is going nonstop. Nonstop. Shane, thank you so much. That is so generous of you. I appreciate your super sticker. Thank you so much for your support. Daily, my God, girl. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Daily. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you very much. We gotta do an application. There's 20 new pearls here, so.
This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 express train. The next stop is Fulton Street.
Get on the
Stand
train,
clear
20.
of the closing doors, please.
Giving to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My
Y'all were approved?
weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.
Thank you, Daily. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I usually don't do them like one after another, but I had to with Daily. So thank you so much, Daily. I appreciate you. Susan, Sebastian's Army. Amen. Thank you so much for your support. Means so much to me. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Here we go.
Is with us. Seth is Sebastian's biological father. And you may have gone online and seen Seth. At first, you see nothing but densely forested woodland. And then you realize it's Seth Rogers out there on foot looking for his son. He hasn't quit. He took a brief respite over Easter break, and now he's back at it. Seth Rogers, thank you for being with us. You can find him at Sebastian Strong. Seth, tell me about the discovery of the glasses.
My volunteers found them in Gallatin at around 210 Hut Street on Monday.
Seth, no offense, but you're speaking Greek to me.
210 Hut Street. 210 Hut Street. Chris is a control freak. He'll never do a lie detector test. Well, allegedly, like I said, I had a source say that he flipped out whenever Katie did it, which, you know, that's alleged. But number two, they say she passed, right? And if you passed, so what? You passed. Great. Candy, thank you so much for gifting a membership, my dear. I appreciate you. If you was the one that received that membership, please thank our sweet Candy there. I appreciate you, my dear. Deb, thank you so much for your super sticker. I really appreciate your support. It means quite a bit. Thank you. I don't think she had one, though. I mean, she says she did. You know, I mean, the TBI, they're not going to tell us. They're not going to come out and say, yes, Katie had, you know, a lie detector test on such and such day. She passed, she failed. They're not going to tell us anything at all. Now, Jennifer, that can be true. I have heard that law enforcement will tell you you passed. I don't know if that's true. You know, I knock on wood, I've never had to do a lie detector test, never have had to do anything like that. So, but it's a possibility. Sure is.
Okay. Where is that? Where is that in relation to Sebastian's home where he was living with his mother, Miss Proudfoot?
It's about 14 miles from his mom's residence. It's not in Hendersonville.
Had he recently gotten new glasses, or am I seeing, Seth Rogers, his actual glasses?
They were close enough that I asked the Sumner County to bag and tag them. I mean, when I saw them through the pictures from my volunteers and they stated they couldn't get a hold of anybody, I flagged down a deputy sheriff and I told them to put on some gloves.
Yeah, I believe they were similar in color, but I think they were reading glasses, if you will. But maybe there'll eventually be a photo out. Not that, you know, we know that they were not his, not Sebastian's, so it doesn't matter at this point, you know. I want to know what's going on too with law enforcement, but let's be real, people. We are not supposed to know. I feel like they are doing their job. Joanne, I pray to God that they are doing their job. You know, I mean, TBI, they find people all the time. But I will say, it seems like with their high profile cases, which there is about 5 or maybe 6 currently, there's been no answers on the high profile cases. And Sebastian needs answers, Summer needs answers, Layla needs answers. Like, there's so many high profile in Tennessee that needs answers for sure.
Put them in a bag and bring them in. And that's what they did. They took pictures around the area to show where they were laying and how they were laying on the street. So they would have some type of regulation on where they were placed or left at, or however they needed, and they brought him into our volunteers gather every morning, and chain of evidence.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I whether they pass it or they fail it, I don't really put much into a lie detector test personally. They don't measure lies. They measure your physical, um, manifestations that happen to your body. Your heart starts beating fast. You start sweating. Your blood pressure goes up. That's what it measures. You can easily, there's two ways, and I thought about doing a live about this. Let me know if you guys would be interested in it. It's about how people actually pass a lie detector test. It's very interesting. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but I did a bunch of research into how some people pass a lie detector test. Yeah, Ted Bundy passed, and people who feel like even if they are wrong, if they feel like they are not wrong, or then they're not going to feel that, the lie, the physical feelings whenever we lie. Where are you going, Miss Kirby? Is Miss Kirby okay? Okay. Deb, thank you so much for your super sticker. I don't know if I said thank you. Thank you, my love. Candy, I pray this doesn't end up like Summerwell's case. My God, me too. Me too. I pray. For sure.
This was completed, and they took him in.
Guys, joining us is Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers. Seth, I want to circle back to what you said. These glasses were found about 14 miles from where Sebastian resided with his mother and stepfather. A volunteer found them. Were you on the search when the volunteer found them?
I was not with the group.
Not with that group. Where then?
Thank you,
were the glasses out
Thank
in
you, my
a forested area? Were they, I heard you mention a street. Were they thrown by the side of the street?
They were on the side of the road.
So, okay, you just clarified something for me. It's in a residential area, like a cul-de-sac?
I don't believe it was a cul-de-sac, but I believe it's Hutch Court. So I believe
Hutch Court. I can probably look that up on the tickets here in a little bit. Is Miss Kirby okay? Does anyone know? Something wrong? Just want to make sure she's okay.
It was leading into a cul-de-sac.
If you were in a car, how long would it take you to get from where Sebastian lived with his mom to where the glasses were found?
Depending on traffic, probably about 14, 15 minutes.
Of course, we're talking about an area that has hills, some mountains. So it's not always as simple as it sounds to go 14 miles. It could take 14 minutes. It could take an hour if you have to go over a hill to get there. But long story short, he's telling us about 15 minutes from home. Do you believe Sebastian has ever walked through this area?
I have no idea. I don't even know what's in the area.
I wonder if he had any friends there, but you believe these glasses are similar enough to the glasses we're seeing that you asked for them to be bagged. Were they cracked? Were they broken in any way?
No, ma'am. They had some scratch marks on the inside of the nose piece, and that was it. The lenses weren't scratched. There was no scuff marks on the outside of them.
Guys,
just making sure you're okay, Miss Kirby.
This is Sebastian's bio dad speaking about a discovery this weekend. A discovery regarding Sebastian's glasses. Now, the reality is, it is a simple matter to determine if these are really his. Seth is telling us they look enough like them that they could very well be his, and they've been taken into evidence. To make sure, what we do is take the lens out and compare it to his last diagnosis and his last lens prescription to find out, are these really Sebastian's glasses? And if so, why were they there? Also, we're going to be looking for prints. We're going to be looking for any DNA at all on these glasses. What?
Now, you know, it would be, as of now, they have found nothing. And when I mean nothing, they have found nothing. Not a footprint, not a shoe print, not anything that dropped, fell, not his keychain, not a coat, because he didn't take one, not a shoe, because he didn't supposedly take one either. Nothing. No scent, nothing on camera, nothing. The lack of his scent is what bothers me. That bothers me a lot as well, Nat. But like I always say, for me, it's not just one thing. It's a combination of different things, right? Some things you can say, okay, it is what it is, right? But then there's this other thing, and then there's this other thing, and it's always, it adds up. Real quick.
If anything, can they tell us? Back to Lauren Conlon, guys. Right now, as we are speaking, a new search is underway for Sebastian. Lauren Conlon joining us from the Outlier. Lauren, any idea what sparked a new search?
I mean, I think people at this point, and obviously Seth Rogers included, are so worried and so concerned, especially after hearing about the glasses. So I personally think this also has to do with the Cajun Navy last week saying, okay, we're going to step back, we're going to regroup, we're not going to stop. And so in turn, I think more people, more organizations stepped up to help.
So bottom line, we don't know. Maybe the glasses, maybe the fact that Cajun Navy is stepping back, but we know the search is happening right now, and we know where the search is. It's an area that has already been searched, which I find very, very intriguing. Why are they researching a particular area?
Nancy, if I can jump in for just a second, there has just been a post from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. They want to clarify that those eyeglasses that were found are not related to Sebastian Rogers.
Damn it, I've been muted for 77. That's my mute for the day. Get it over with. Get it over with. Get it over with. Sorry, I had a HIPAA violation here. Sorry. All right. Sorry, Kay. Sorry, chat. Just might as well get it over with. Okay, shall we begin again? Do you think the mom story will change soon? Also, has she done anything to look for her missing son? Has she at least called Ghostbusters then? So, I personally think that mom's story has been changing since pretty much the beginning. And from the things that she said to him on while she was on the couch. Um, and also, it's not only that you know, it's a red flag in my opinion whenever someone's stories change, especially something that is so important, right? It's very important. This is your son. Um, and two, it's not necessarily like extremely significant about what she said when she was allegedly talking to him from the living room. It's about her actions. That is what gets me. If you're a mother, if you're a parent, if you're a father, if you're a caregiver, if you're a person home alone, you are going to go check on anything that makes a sound in your house, much less your child that is special needs and has a problem uh, with something, like a they described it as a water pocket inside of his head. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, HIPAA violations. Mr. Pearl, HIPAA. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's so funny. That's so funny. September, thank you, my love. I appreciate your super sticker. Love you to pieces. Appreciate it. So it's not just can y'all can hear me, right? Some of y'all, yeah, you guys need to refresh. It's y'all's fault now. It's not mine. I'm just kidding. So Alafide says, it's as if he magically disappeared. How does this happen unless it is pre-planned act? According to mom's story, she was in the house when when he went missing. Was she was passed out drunk? Question mark. I mean that could be, yes. It could very well be that she was passed out in whatever form, whether it was by substance or it was just she was tired. It could be either of them, or she's a hard sleeper. Yeah, I have to play a little bit of light music. To just use it under the various, just to make sure. So she could have been asleep, or she could have not. I just don't I mean, at this point, I don't think that we can say, in my opinion, that anybody other was in that house. There's no evidence that we're aware of that someone came in that house. And just like her story where she said she was going to, uh, she was, after she went to the bedroom and she realized he wasn't there, she was going to go to the kitchen and check on him. Well, she's closer to the kitchen in her room, and she has to walk right through it in order to, you know, get to him. So there's that. There's that. Thank you, Burger Angel. Appreciate you, my dear. Very sweet. Oh, Miss Kirby, thank you, honey. You are so kind. Only you, only. Oh, love you. Never change. You're so funny. Oh, thank you, Miss Kirby. That's very sweet and generous of you. I really do appreciate you, Miss Kirby. I just wanted to make sure you was okay a minute ago. I'm not muted now. I'm not muted. Thank you, Miss Kirby. I appreciate you. And thank you, Virgo Angel. And thank you, KA. I appreciate you all. It's very sweet, very generous. All right, so let's continue with this. You like my guest shirt? What was it? Amy? It's my guest shirt. Like I have one tattoo. And I wish I would have never got it, but like if I was buff, I would like get a tattoo like this right on my shoulder. Yeah, man. Yeah. But I'm not. I'm not. I never will be probably. So there's that.
Guys, in addition to Lauren Collin and Seth Rogers, joining us is Dave Mack, crimeonline.com investigative reporter, who has also been on the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers from the very, very beginning. Dave Mack, let me just say at the outset, recently, the stepfather, Mr. Proudfoot, stated that he would take a polygraph if we set it up. As a matter of fact,
Listen to this
take a
carefully.
listen to this.
Here you
Have
go.
the two of you taken a polygraph?
Last week.
I have.
I have not.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph, and I was told directly by law enforcement because of my whereabouts, I did not need one.
So how about this, Chris? In my opinion, Chris said because he was where he was, that law enforcement said he does not need a polygraph. Well, then why would they try? And you said that TBI said you shouldn't do this. And in the other interview, you said that TBI or law enforcement, you did not need one. So why does it matter then? It's if they say you don't, that you didn't need one or whatever, why won't you take one for Nancy? It, in my opinion, it really hurts his credibility about what he's saying. Just my opinion, though. Michelle, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate you, my love. Welcome to the family. You are now a Pearl. Appreciate your support. Thank you, dear. Lolo, thank you. Love you too. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Thank you. Daily, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. That's very, very generous of you, my sweetheart. I appreciate you. If you was one of the members, the new members that received the membership, please thank our sweet Daily. We'll do an application here in a little bit, though. Okay, so don't forget.
I understand. Ms. Proudfoot, did you pass your polygraph?
I did.
Okay, now listen to this. He says, I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph. I was told directly by law enforcement, but because of my whereabouts, I did not need one. Listen to more. And Mr. Proudfoot, you have volunteered to take a poly?
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting.
If I were to set up a poly for you, would you take it?
Name the place and time, ma'am. I'll be there.
Well, we did.
Yes,
we did that.
did.
We set up a polygrapher, a very well-respected polygrapher, a place and a time. Mr. Proudfoot tells us that he has been instructed by the TBI not to be on with us today and ask for help finding his.
Oh, so I guess Nancy and them invited him back on to ask, to talk about the search, right? Talk about the search. And I'm sure, not to mention, ask, what's up with why you rejected the lie detector test, or why you are allegedly not, advised to, I don't know, blow it out your, Chris. I just don't even get it, to be honest with you. He's so full of it. You know what Seth said? Whatever. You need me to do a lie detector test? Hook 2 of them up to me. He doesn't care. He's innocent. He's at work. You guys have heard me 1,000 times say this, if you have watched me long enough. But in true crime, every time, people who have nothing to hide nothing. It's that simple. He won't even come back on Nancy's. Nancy was nothing but respectful to you. Nancy was nothing but respectful to both of them. And that's just it. Whiskey, thank you so much for your super sticker, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Daily, thank you again. Oh my goodness, for gifting 5 memberships. You are extraordinarily generous. I really do appreciate you. Candy, thank you so much. CP, he's so full of BS. I agree in this, they are living in a different state right now. Living 3.5 hours from where their son was last seen. Not at their house. Allegedly, it's, and I have no idea to confirm this, but they're supposed to be selling their house, allegedly. It sounds like BOR music. Brown chicken, brown cow. Thanks, StreamYard. I don't know what to say. But it's just. Let's see if we can do this one. Yeah. I also heard something about Alabama, and I hope not. Well, I did have someone today that was in Memphis, and she had to pass St. Jude, and there is a crane out there. There is a crane out there, but nobody was working it while she was passing or anything like that. Yeah, they're not going to tell you, Serenity. They're not going to tell you what they're not going to give anyone any advice. They're not attorneys. Law enforcement is never going to give you advice on whether you should take a lie detector test, not take a lie detector test. Besides, it would not be admissible in court, even if TBI gives them one, and it's dang sure not going to be admissible in court anywhere else. I'm sure Nancy would have asked specific questions in that. So, yeah, it's just that.
His stepson, and not to take a polygraph. I've never heard of that. I always loved it when witnesses, targets, or defendants, anybody would take a polygraph. If I want my own polygraph, I will get one as an assistant district attorney. So I find that very curious that he would be dissuaded from asking for the help from the public.
Thank you, Ramona.
See a volunteer search launching right now with law enforcement, and not to take a polygraph. Now, very curious.
All right.
Family.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary.
Outfoot. Sebastian Rogers' stepfather. Didn't he tell us he would take the polygraph anywhere, anytime? Isn't that true?
He said it. Anywhere you name the place, I'll be there.
He also told us, should I believe him or my lying ears, that he has never taken a polygraph before? Didn't he tell us that?
That's what he said. He told you that.
Okay.
We heard him.
Dave Mack, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Did he not tell another outlet he had already taken a polygraph and passed it?
Yep, he sure did.
Wow, that's interesting. Why are we getting different stories? Why are we getting different stories? Yes. Yep. He told another outlet, Nancy, saying that Truth never changes. Exactly, Amy. Remember Orrin and Orson's case? Called kids rambunctious. Just, yes, I did. I noticed that. Yeah, when they were out in the yard. Said rambunctious. Chris said the same, which is, it's interesting. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's an interesting observation, right? I don't know. I just really don't know. I'm telling you.
Exact words. He said somebody asked.
Explain, please.
He did interviews. He did a number of interviews, Nancy, when and in this one particular, asked about, have you taken a polygraph? He said, somebody asked the question. This is a direct quote. Was a polygraph taken and has it been passed? Yes. I didn't specify who or when, but what I can tell you, everything has been vetted completely. Polygraphs have come back as passed. So I'm confused as in why they're all wondering if myself, my wife, and the biological father took one. Exact words. That's what he said.
Okay, but Seth Rogers, this is Sebastian's dad, his bio dad.
Yep.
Sebastian, Seth, I don't understand that because he told me he would take a polygraph if I set it up. I set it up. I went through a lot of hoops to get it set up. One convenient to him in the area where he says he's working. Then he wouldn't take it and blames the TBI. So now I find out he's told other outlets he's taken one and passed. Do you know the truth?
I don't. I really don't know, but I'll tell you what, I volunteered to take polygraph. I was told that I wasn't. I didn't need to because they have my location and whereabouts, but I still volunteered. And if somebody wants me to take one, that's something on my own free will. I haven't been told by TBI that I can't take one.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? He hasn't been told by TBI if he can't take one. And just like Seth said, it's his own free will. We thank God we live in a free country. You don't have to take a lie detector test. He absolutely doesn't. For TBI or for Nancy Grace or us or whoever. He doesn't have to. But why say you will anytime, anywhere, and you don't? And then you blame it on, in my opinion, at least, you blame it on TBI. And then you tell other outlets you passed. And then you tell us in other interviews earlier on, passed. I didn't say who passed later. To my membership gifter, thank you so much. Push for Sebastian. Oh, thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Dispatch Crystal, thank you so much. Green Heart Sebastian Strong. Amen. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you. He really is Candy. I think so, at least. I think so. I just don't see it. I mean, I think, in my opinion, TBI and law enforcement is keeping this so tight to the vest right now. I think they still need Chris and Katie maybe to continue working with them, and they should continue to work with them if they are innocent, as they claim that they are. So I would expect them to continue working with law enforcement and TBI. That's all you would expect anyways, right?
I've got a lot of things I need to dissect very quickly. Dave Mack, you and I have been scouring the internet and speaking to various witnesses. Mr. Proudfoot tells me to my face that he hit Sebastian with a belt. This is an autistic boy. An autistic boy. Do they, at his level of severity of autism, and I've got an expert, Courtney Lasky, is going to explain this to me. I did not teach this in law school. How would that affect a child with autism? But that said, I want to focus on what I'm hearing, Dave Mack. Help me, Dave. I'm hearing that it happened years ago. In both of those quotes where you heard Chris Proudfoot speaking, he said several years ago. Then he says, when I press him on that, he says, at least 3 years ago.
At least 3 years ago. No, I don't believe that from Chris either. My personal opinion. September Rain, thank you so much. Has law enforcement viewed security cameras from Chris's parents' home? They could have gone there after the restaurant instead of their house. You know, I don't know that, you know, that's part of the investigation, but I would assume that they watched them. Thank you, Libra. Appreciate it. They've watched them go wherever they were gone. I'm sure that they've got every traffic camera, every business camera that, you know, while they were traveling from that restaurant. Hey, Dino. Good to see you, dear. Good to see you. Now, look at this. Now, Chris did say on Facebook, I think Miss Kirby said that just a moment ago, that he did say that they passed. But this wasn't too long after. Thank you again, September Rain. This wasn't too long after Sebastian went missing. In your opinion, does this sound like a mother who, you know, someone, this person said that they thought they saw Sebastian. Now, they didn't, but this is what Katie Proudfoot answered to. Tara, what did he say? Anything? Question mark. Did he seem stressed? Was he wearing shoes? She was 3 minutes away from this place. You wouldn't have seen me typing on Facebook. I would have hauled my ass to that location. I would have been dialing 91010 on the way there. Not, did he say anything? Was he stressed? He's been, at this point, he's been gone for days. What do you mean, is he stressed? He's 15 years old. Child. Special needs. You're a mother. You're a parent. Why would someone do this? Say this. Get in your car. How about that? Don't understand. I don't get it.
Go. However, he stated a different scenario to a different person. Explain, Dave Mack.
He did a YouTube interview, and in that interview, he described the actual belt whack. And, you know, in your interview, he said that the belt whack did not lead to a CPS call.
Stop. I asked you about the age of Sebastian when Sebastian was hit with the belt. One thing at a time, brother. The age of Sebastian. He said it was 3 years ago.
He said in another interview that the 15-year-old boy was upset. He was in trouble. He said he's 15 and in trouble. He was describing why Sebastian was mad about the punishment, the whack. And he said, 15-year-old boy, punishment. Now, that's not 3 years ago. That's within the last 12 months.
That is within the same year that Sebastian goes missing. That is a significant point.
And in your interview, Katie agreed with him. She was saying, yeah, at least 3 years.
Yes, she did. You're right. You're absolutely right.
December.
What, Seth?
His birthday, December 7th. He just turned 15.
Okay. The significance of that is that he had not been 15 that long.
Barely 15. Barely 15. crazy.
According to this, when he got whacked with a belt. So does it matter when he got whacked with a belt? To me, it matters if you're telling two different stories. That's what matters. I've never been hit or hit anyone with a belt. And I remember the last time either one of my children were spanked. It was Lucy because she clobbered John David in the head with a piece of wood. She turned around and looked at me and went, "Is that it?" Basically, because I was spanking her through a huge diaper. Okay, it didn't work. So that was the last smack. Long story short, there's a whole scenario that I need to talk with Ms. Lasky about hitting a child that is autistic with the belt, or any child with the belt, for Pete's sake. But that said, what's concerning me now is two different stories. And as Dave Mack first said, we've got a CPS issue. Because if you will recall, Dave Mack, and
that was the end of January as well. That was the end of January of this year. Here is where Chris also said on Facebook, yes, and the results are passed. So there's that. Just wanted to show y'all that briefly. And again, like Nancy's saying, the stories are changing. Why are the stories?
Last sound I played of Mr. Proudfoot speaking to me, I said, "How did that turn into a CPS, Child Protective Services complaint?" And he says, "That did not turn into a CPS complaint." But wait a minute. He's told a different story to a different person.
Yep.
Tell me, Dave Mack, and make sure you're right.
I am glad Nancy got that interview. She took all the information in, right? She gave Chris opportunity to do the lie detector test that he agreed to anytime, anywhere. Nope, didn't. Now she's calling it out.
Describing the belt whack, the specific belt whack, hit him one time with the belt and
made the sound.
Chris Proudfoot said, Seth, that Sebastian went to school, told a teacher what had happened, and he actually says the school, they're an automatic reporter, and they reported it to CPS. He went further to say that night when they were sitting down to dinner, a CPS worker came to their house. That evening to their house. And by the way, he added they knew this CPS worker because she had been to the house before.
Yes, had been to the house before. Now that doesn't mean a CPS case was open before, but they had definitely been to the house before. In my opinion, I don't believe Chris at all. And then he made it seem like Sebastian did the wrong thing by telling someone that, he felt safe with. Oh, we told him, this was wrong and all of that. Check like the CPS lady knew him.
He went on to explain heroically how he didn't get in trouble, but that this caseworker allegedly took Sebastian outside and told him, "You can't tell lies about people. You'll get in trouble yourself."
That would, shamed him. Yeah, shamed him. And I don't believe that at all. A CPS worker is never going to say that. They're never going to say that, in my opinion. And trust me, I do foster care. I've worked with many CPS workers, and I can't imagine anyone saying that.
So the story from Chris Proudfoot in this other version
Thank
is
you,
that
Bailey.
he spanked Sebastian. Sebastian went to school and told a teacher. Teacher reported it to CPS.
Thank you, Betty.
CPS came out to their house that night while they're eating dinner and didn't even want to hear Chris Proudfoot's side of the story. He said, I already know what happened, and took Sebastian outside and talked to him. The boy needed help, and there was nobody helping, apparently.
Okay, Liz, if you don't mind, could you play 23 for me one more time? Listen to Sebastian's stepfather, Mr. Proudfoot. Was that the first time you had ever hit him with a belt?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only time, actually.
And I tell you something, in my opinion, I bet you the wrath of Chris came down upon that house. Betcha. Betcha. Poor Sebastian. Poor Sebastian. God only knows what, in my opinion, was told to Sebastian. I don't even think he would have told Seth. He was just that scared. It's really, really messed up. Thank you, Candy. CPS in Tennessee sucks, though, I can believe. Yeah, it could be. It's very possible. Do I think CPS is working with like authorities? Yeah. Yes, because when a child goes missing, they have to, when a child goes missing, automatically, the law enforcement must contact CPS, DHS, whatever it is in your area, automatically. That doesn't mean that they open a case necessarily. They don't always open up a case. They will open up a case if they find things, like in Summer Wells' case. They obviously opened up a case and removed the boys. But in other cases, they don't. So that's really sad, all things, McGee. Demented people have a way of finding each other. That's for sure. That is for sure.
When was this?
Years ago, ma'am.
Years ago.
Any idea how many? 3, 10, 1?
It probably at least 3 years ago.
I don't understand how that turned into a CPS or Child Protective Services complaint. How were they alerted that you hit him with a belt?
That did not turn into a CPS service call.
As we go to air right now, we are learning a new search is being conducted by LA law enforcement volunteers, apparently recanvassing an area that has already been searched. Why? Why the focus on that one area? Joining me in the
Thank you so much, Muddy Paws. This is shattering Seth's heart. Muddy Paws, I mean, can you guys, this is Seth's only child. This is his entire world. And it infuriates me that, in my opinion, some other man was doing this, making the life of Sebastian really difficult and scared. Had Seth known, this would have never happened. This is his only child. As a parent, You just can't imagine. And that's this, it just, it infuriates me. It's terrible. I bet you Chris would never. Never mind.
Last moments.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Willow. It's very generous and kind of you. I appreciate your support. Thank you, my dear. It's just so horrible because Sebastian has a father exactly who loves him and wants him. There was no reason why they couldn't just let him go to his dad. I agree. I agree. You know, it's bad enough for, in my opinion, that a human being lives in fear. It's horrible if a child lives in fear or is abused in any way, shape, or form. And it's even worse if it is someone with special needs who cannot process things the way that maybe you and I process, who doesn't feel things the way that maybe you and I feel. Unbelievable.
It's Brian Trasher joining us, VP of the United Cajun Navy. Brian, you and I have been talking a lot. A lot is happening. One, you called off the search one day just before the search started. And two, there's a lot of hate going on against the Cajun Navy. I don't get it. You're out there on your own time, volunteering, trying to help find Sebastian or a clue of Sebastian. Somebody is full of a lot of hate for volunteers, which proves no good deed goes unpunished. And I'm hearing, by the way, the same thing, something similar from Seth Rogers, who is Sebastian's bio dad. The searches are being torpedoed. I don't understand it. Number one, Brian Trasher, why has the Cajun Navy pulled out of a search?
Well, just to be clear, we gave up or called off leading the public searches. So we're no longer putting out a public call for volunteers and leading searches with volunteers. We did have some volunteers that were threatened despite what so the local PD said in their press conference. We did have some credible threats.
And hold on. Explore, like, Clutch and Pearls, if law enforcement, TBI, SS, and FBI have not come to the conclusion yet, I'm thinking Sebastian threatened to run away or did before, and they took down the surveillance alarms, allowing Sebastian to flee perish. You know, anything is possible. Is it probable, though? And in my opinion, in that I don't think it's probable. I just don't think it's probable. And the reason is, number one, that there is no scent at any place, anywhere. No place, no scent, nothing. Not a footprint, nothing. So there's that. Number two, even if they did take their cameras down or, you know, anything like that, that doesn't mean the neighbors don't have cameras or anything like that. And I think he would have already been found if he was in that area. So, I mean, is it possible? Yes. But is it probable? That's the question we ask. Is it probable? I just don't think that's probable. Um, I mean, the best thing we can hope and pray for is that he is with a friend, right? With a friend that just got in a car. But again, you would think that there would be some sort of surveillance somewhere. And we just don't have that. We just don't have that. And that is what, for someone to work in the security business, who knows all about security, who goes to seminars, right, about break-ins and crime statistics, and educates people about their homes, where they need an alarm, where they need a sensor, where they need a camera, and live in a $600,000 home, and you don't have security when security is already came with the house. Why do you want a panel 13th hour? I'm not doing a panel. It's not a panel day. I might do calls later, but not at the moment. For all of this, I don't see why everything was cut off. Not even a light on. Yes, SL. Neighbors surveillance footage is being overlooked. There is at the their road, it kind of splits off. And at the end of that road, to get out of that house, there's cameras at that house. I was reading the other night that there are devices. I don't know how, and to be fair, I don't know how common they are, but there are devices that can completely erase your navigation. I was like, damn. I was watching it on 60 Minutes the other day, and then I was like Googling it after that. That's crazy.
We have recordings of telephone threats. We have surveillance video of in-person threats. I know it was said that there was no police report filed. There was a police report filed about a threat with Metro Nashville PD. It's not clear as to whether those departments share information with each other, but we did provide a copy of that report with your producers just to show that we are telling the truth. Why the hate? I think that there are some people out there who make money off of tragedies, and when volunteer groups come in and try to take over and help, I think it takes away from their potential revenue. And when you mess with people's money, they get mad. I think that's just part of it. I had a conversation with Seth Rogers on Easter Sunday.
I mean, I think it's hideous, in my opinion, that people allegedly have a bucket when they're donating their time and their energy and all that, and you throw a bucket and expect something as well. But that's just my opinion.
He has his own theories about why himself and other volunteer groups are being impeded in the search for Sebastian, about why they're receiving so much online.
In my opinion, they are nothing, in my opinion, not even close to EquiSearch. Not even a little.
Hey, I'll let Seth speak for himself and his own experience.
Yes, we'll do that. I want to talk to you about you and the Cajun Navy. I heard some of the threats myself, recorded threats. But could you succinctly, in a nutshell, explain what type of threats have been leveled against members of the Cajun Navy who are out trying to find Sebastian?
Basically, just a lot of, we're going to run you out of town. We're going to dox you. We're going to, tell everybody where your family lives, things like that. But, Nancy, what we've found is that we've run background checks, and all the people that have made these threats, they thought they could remain anonymous, and they're all career criminals. They all have rap sheets a mile long. So criminal activity is nothing new to them. So it doesn't surprise us that they would have the gumption to go ahead and make threats like this. But I think what they were mistaken is when they thought there was going to be no retaliation. And when we basically started exposing these people and putting information out there, boy, they really freaked out. So my message to those people making threats, if you'll stop lying about the United Cajun Navy, we'll stop telling the truth about you.
Okay, you know what? I don't really care, Brian, who's lying on who. Those are just words. I care about finding Sebastian, and I care about someone trying to torpedo the search, be it with law enforcement, with the Cajun Navy, with Seth Rogers, the biological father of Sebastian. Seth Rogers, you've told me that someone is also trying to sabotage your search for your own son. What's happening?
Crazy.
Somebody doesn't want me to find my son. They have been there's things that have been coming in off the internet that I need to stop searching for him. I've had people following me around since since I would say day 9, day 10. People have been.
You got to ask who would be the people who person or persons or even group that would not want Seth to find his son. Who would that be? I mean, that's I hope Seth is reporting every single one to TBI.
Been following me around. Once I started getting volunteers to help me, they started following around my volunteers, trying to be an intimidative factor. And now I found out that not only that, but they're going back to where we've already flyered, and they're taking the flyers down.
Okay.
That is crazy. That is, Seth is doing, his own, investigation, right? Like he's doing his own thing as well. Any parent would, right? Unbelievable that these people are threatening Seth. Who's taking flyers down? I have no idea, but I hope that they are caught.
Hey, I don't know what to make of this. Brian Trasher is the vice president of the United Cajun Navy. Okay. And there have been many incarnations of the Cajun Navy. But this is what I know. This group is out searching for Sebastian. They called off part of the search because they perceived threats. Now the bio dad, Seth, is telling me that flyers have been torn down for Sebastian. I don't understand that. What's happening, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, as you heard us say in the past, you now heard Sebastian's father, Seth, say that there are, without question, people in the local community, whether the locals or not remains to be seen, but there are people there in Sumner County that do not want this boy found, and they want people who are searching for him to stop, and they've resorted to threats to try to make them stop. Fortunately, it hasn't worked because we still have people out there looking, and I know Seth is not going to stop looking for his son.
Guys,
yeah, I was
take a
thinking
listen to
that,
what
Elisa.
Dave Mack from Crime Online has to say.
Yeah.
The United Cajun Navy surprised many people that showed up for a recent search in Hendersonville for Sebastian Rogers. Just before people were preparing to gather, the United Cajun Navy came out with a post on Facebook and said they were calling off their search for Sebastian Rogers over security reasons. Pressed for more details, the United Cajun Navy said they are concerned over the security for their staff and volunteers, as some are getting death threats online and in person. They said they were going to regroup in a few days and decide how best to move forward.
Again, no good deed going unpunished. Why would people tear down flyers that have been placed up by Sebastian's father looking for him and the toll-free numbers and descriptions of the boy? Why is this happening? And why is the Cajun Navy being threatened? I want to figure out, Brian Trasher, how you pick that particular area to search.
There's a combination of some information when we first got there that Seth provided, some areas that he had showed us that had already been searched and areas that he felt would be good to search. Other areas were just kind of triangulating from the last known location of the young man at his home and trying to figure out some places he would have been easy for him to walk to, places that he frequented before. We knew that there were some places that he liked to visit. But from what his mother said, he didn't have a history of wandering off without telling anybody. So, we wanted to make sure that we were searching every nook and cranny that we could to find this boy.
What?
Now they have searched. They're going to search again what they've already searched. And yeah, daily, of course. And just to make sure that they didn't miss anything, but you got to remember there is helicopters, there are drones that are unbelievable how good they are. They see everything. At one time, 1,500 people searching. Just, but you can miss something. It is possible. And also, sometimes when if there is foul play, there can be if someone thinks that if or knows that a place has been searched, they will move. If there is foul play, which we don't know. So there's that as well. Yes, EquiSearch. Twyla from EquiSearch will find. Love Twyla. I love EquiSearch. Period. They're, in my opinion, they just don't get better than EquiSearch.
What can you tell me about that retention pond? There were reports a dog had hit on the retention pond. The pond was drained and nothing was found. Do I have that correct?
I don't have any information with regards to that. I know there's been a lot of confusion about when dogs hit and where and things like that. We go with the information that we have at the time. My understanding is that pond was drained and nothing was found there. But Seth might be able to tell you a little bit more about some of the areas that the dogs searched closer to the home and if there were confirmed.
Yeah. I put that on my my community post today. Someone altered the flyers of Sebastian and put like where he looked older. That is, and put the TBI stamp on it, which is illegal it is illegal to do that. You cannot use like an FBI, a TBI, any, logo of any sort with law enforcement. Thank you, Hiding 07. It's very sweet of you. That is a federal offense. And, if you thought, an updated flyer, an updated picture might be better, the thing that you should have done is make your own flyer, right? And don't put the stamp on there, or call TBI and say, listen, he looks younger, and here's a photo of him around Christmas. You think that might be better? You know, but I mean, you can't put their stamp of TBI on there. That's really, really wrong.
Hits or not.
Crime Stories with Nancy Grace.
Right, people make flyers all the time. All the time, make sure the picture is correct, make sure the information is correct, and just don't hey, Gregory, and just don't use anyone's logo, especially law enforcement. That's bad. Really bad.
Welcome back, everybody. Seth Roger joining us. This is Sebastian Rogers' biological father. You can find him at Sebastian.
Hold on. What was this? Always like Justin. Seth said he had that picture put on there so people could get an idea of what he looked like without glasses and a little older. Well, always late. So they actually did a thing speaking about it that they did not. Here, I'll show you my community page where you can actually see it, because I don't know if you've seen this or not. Let me show you this. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. All right, this is from TBI. Okay. And okay, there we go. I'll read it to you. All right. This is from TBI. TBI special agents are joining investigators and deputies with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and multiple trained search teams from surrounding counties in a ground search in Sumner County today as part of the effort to find Sebastian Rogers. More info below from Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Also, we have been made aware that altered versions of the TBI Amber Alert poster were being circulated throughout social media, indicating they have been verified. They have not. The poster that was developed and has been distributed through the TBI Missing Persons Unit is the one included below in the comment section. So there's that. I mean, no, I'm not saying that you would just say that. I'm just saying that Seth may have uh asked to put a newer photo of Seth. Seth may have done it. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. Seth may have asked to add the newer photo without the glasses, but you can't. He probably, even if he asked someone to do it, he is not in true crime or anything, and if he did, he didn't know that you can't add, something. But I don't even, that's the first I'm hearing of it, about what you're saying. But you can never add a stamp, a logo without their approval. So I don't know. So there's that. Oh, damn, where'd I go? Okay, wrong one. Sorry.
And strong. Seth, again, thank you for being with us so much. I mean, when you're searching for a missing child, I like the focus to be on what is being done to find the child. What can we do to help find the child? But instead, there's all this controversy surrounding the search for Sebastian. And I find that very odd that people are not pulling together to try to find Sebastian. But that said, can you please shed some light on the search that occurred around the Proudfoot home? Did dogs hit on areas around the home and leading to the retention pond?
I was first told by one of the dog handlers that their dog did hit on a.
Okay. Seth approved the photo, but not the TBI. Gotcha. I mean, I understand. I get it. I absolutely get it. And I agree. I agree. I think the photo with him without his glasses it seems to be a more updated photo, right? It seems to be a more updated photo, but again, there has to be some type of approval for like something that's got like an Amber Alert TBI seal on it. You know what I mean? I get it. I mean, I agree there should have been a more updated photo, but also I'm just saying about the stamp. That's it. That's all. So Chris denied Nancy. ATS, good to see you. He said that, yes, he said that TBI told him that he should not do a lie detector test. So it's a crock of shit, in my opinion.
That took him over into the construction area to a retention pond. I was later told by law enforcement that it was a false hit. I was also informed that they searched that pond
Precisely
where the
what
dog went to.
Bingo.
And they did not find anything. And I was told that they were going to actually go back and drain that retention pond, and they had drained a separate retention pond.
So you think they may have already drained 2 ponds?
Yes, ma'am.
The reason I'm asking, Seth, is because your ex, Miss Proudfoot, stated that the dog hit and got Sebastian's scent around the home. Now I'm hearing it didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Was that hit at the retention pond, the false hit, or was it around their home?
I'm being told by law enforcement that the dog hit to the retention pond was a false hit.
Do you know of any hit by the dogs around the Proudfoot home at all?
Not on the outside.
Were there hits on the inside?
I believe so.
Okay.
Oh, well, there should be because they inside.
Should have been. Now, this is my conundrum, Seth. If there are no hits for Sebastian outside the Proudfoot home, that would suggest he did not leave the home. Earlier, I was asking the Proudfoots about their vehicle.
Yeah, it's interesting how they have alleged hits of Sebastian inside the home. Well, he lived in the home, but they have nothing of him inside the home. What about the RV? Gina, a lot of people has asked about the RV, and we've not really got an answer about the RV. I don't know if Seth would know anything about that. I mean, he might. They may not share. They're not going to share anything with Seth that they're, with that they will with us either. Usually, and about also the mattress. Yeah. Justin, do you think TBI doesn't want him doing it because they could use it as Sebastian found? Do you think TBI doesn't want him doing it because they could use it as when Sebastian's found, it could give mixed signals? I don't know what you mean by that. Because they could use it as when Sebastian found, it could give them mixed signals. I'm not sure what you mean, but I'm blonde as well, so could be it. I'm sorry.
Their vehicles, what's their make, model, and year, to determine if there was a navigation system in those vehicles that could tell me if the vehicles left the home that night. That's what I was getting at. Don't know the answer to that yet, but I believe that there were. You're telling me you were not told of any canine hit around the home. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That's critical. Joining me, Dr. Sherry Schwartz, forensic psychologist who specializes in forensic psychology, capital mitigation, and victim advocacy at panthermitigation.com. Dr. Sherry, this search for Sebastian, if he is alive, he could still be saved. But it is degrading into a lot of infighting amongst searchers. I don't understand that.
I don't understand it either, and I certainly am no expert in these kinds of searches, but it doesn't seem to me that I've ever heard of anything so vitriolic in the behavior of people searching to find a missing teenager. One of the things that seems to be happening is there seems to be maybe a little bit of territory, protecting their territory type thing, wanting maybe to be the organization.
Dr. Sherry.
Yes.
They're out in the middle of the woods. Whose territory is that?
Exactly.
Nobody's.
No, I agree with you 100%, Nancy. The thing is, we know now that trolling is a thing. People troll. I don't understand why this situation would attract trolls and for people to make threats when everybody just wants to find this little boy, preferably alive.
Absolutely. Find him. Justin, when Chris came back home, he left the camper but returned back to Memphis to get the camper. If you remember, the RV stays in the park. So, Linda Lou, he did bring it home. He did bring it home. That is true. He did bring it home. But he was gone for like 17 hours. Because he spent the night there, from what I understand. And I think it was like 2 days after Sebastian went missing. Now, I've always said, why do we keep going back to that camper? And it's not, to me, it's not even so much the camper, it's the location. Why do we keep driving back and forth 3.5 hours later? You don't have a job there, right? No job at all. Why? That trip, 3.5 hours later, now they're living down there, right? Living from Yogi Bear's Jellystone, I don't know, something park. Why?
Live? It seems to me that people should be jumping in to help. So I don't have an explanation for that other than that when they can remain anonymous, relatively anonymous, the trolling seems to increase. But as Brian pointed out earlier, when these people are exposed, all of a sudden they back off because they don't want to be known as trolls.
Another question to you, Seth Rogers. This is Sebastian's biological father who has been out on foot searching for his son. Seth, did you say you have or have not, would not take a polygraph?
I would.
Wonderful. If I set one up for you, will you take the polygraph?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I will hold this against you if you then don't take the polygraph. Right? You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I want to know where everybody really was that night. For instance, if Mr. Proudfoot was.
I mean, there are people that have actually, side-eyed Seth, and I don't understand that. Because Seth was clearly at work. Justin, just a thought, could Sebastian been in the camper and Chris's parents stopped and got him on the way to Alaska? I don't think so. And to be honest with you, I don't think that's Chris's parents would do anything. I definitely don't think there's anybody or anything to do with Alaska. Yeah, Seth will take the polygraph. It seems, I don't think that they are willing to lose what they have. They've worked, I mean, regardless of how we, or someone feels about Seth's parents, they work hard. They work really hard for what they have, and they enjoy their creature comforts, and I don't think that they would ever put that in the way of helping Chris out or Katie for a 6x6 concrete cell. Yes, I know Purple Hearts. I know. We'll watch that in a little bit, but I got it. Thank you. Please don't mention other creators in my chat. Please don't. I would appreciate it.
Where he says he is. Says he.
Because it can get really messy. Just don't do it.
Was at work near Memphis. I believe he would have been in his RV. Is that your understanding, Seth?
They wouldn't.
That would
They
be
wouldn't.
my
Yeah,
understanding.
they wouldn't.
So, if you're in an RV park, and I've been in a lot of them with the twins and my husband, they are covered in security cams. Where's the security footage? Did he leave? Did he go home? I don't know. Has his RV been seized? Has it been processed? This does not mean at all that he had anything to do with Sebastian's disappearance. This is part of a thorough investigation. And that's all I'm saying. Question, did Sebastian know how to swim?
Yes, ma'am. My son was like a fish.
Interesting, like a fish.
Before he could walk.
Shit. Sorry. Muted again. Second time. Does KP have family, or was she created in a petri dish? She does have family, but they are all criminal. I mean, I'm not saying they're all criminal, but they're allegedly all criminal from what oh, by the way, that just reminded me of something I just checked on that you asked me, and I may have some information about that. I'll need to check my email. Blonde moment. It's a blonde life, Jude. It's a blonde life. It's a blonde life. Seth just said Okay.
Okay, good to know. We've had a lot of questions about that.
I have a question for Seth.
Please jump in, and remember, guys, we're not having high tea at Windsor Castle. I don't know how many times I got to tell you this. We're not with Charles and Camilla, so jump in. You're hearing Lauren Conlon. Go ahead, Lauren.
Yes, Seth. So we've heard law enforcement state many times that all the parents are cooperating. To me, this is not the same thing as being ruled.
Okay, so I'm getting this in. Seth said that he's talking about Katie and Chris, I'm going to say allegedly, allowing a 13-year-old boy to play with Sebastian when he was 8. They didn't pay any attention, and the 13-year-old SA'd him, meaning, wow. He also said that the reason Chris doesn't want his daughter around, allegedly, is because he thinks Sebastian will do those sort of things to his daughter. Yes, please restrain from posting anything that could hurt family members in the chat. Yeah. Yep.
Out as a suspect. Has law enforcement directly said to you?
Sure. So Seth said that he's talking to Chris and Katie, and Chris allowing a 13-year-old boy to play with Sebastian when he was 8 years old. They didn't pay any attention, and the 13-year-old SA'd Sebastian then, allegedly. He also said that the reason Chris doesn't want his daughter around Sebastian was because he thinks Sebastian will do that sort of thing to his daughter, allegedly. It really is, David. It really is. I mean, in my opinion, it is as clear as day that Chris did not want Sebastian there. Did not. It's bad. It's bad.
We are ruling you out as a suspect, or we are looking at someone else as a suspect. I'm just curious the difference there.
They've told me that we're all suspects. We're all suspects until Sebastian is found. This is an open investigation, so the only way that the investigation will close is we find Sebastian. And that's my purpose.
Right. And in terms of the last time I was on this panel, and we did ask Chris Proudfoot about the United Cajun Navy, his words exactly were, when they were at a restaurant and Katie was on the phone, he said, quote, "My wife was on the phone with the Cajun Navy, and that's how they were brought in." Did you happen to hear him say that?
I've heard that he said that.
Okay, and that is not true at all. This is all you. I've seen your mother post about this.
Yes. Why is Chris lying about that? Yeah, it's not true. It's not true at all. Why? This is the thing. This is a question I have for you guys. If we can prove these things about just this right here, about the things that we were talking about earlier, about the lie detector test, the CPS thingy and all that. If we know those, and he's lying about those allegedly, what else is he allegedly lying about? Who else? Why? What else? Why?
I've seen the Cajun Navy posted about you. I just heard Brian. So that is false.
I think so too, Miss Kirby.
From my understanding, they're the ones that I reached out to them. They were trying to get a hold of me. I had somebody get a phone number so I could turn around and speak to
What he wanted.
Mr. Terrell, and I called him up on his personal cell phone.
That's Todd. Okay, got it. And then the last thing was that everybody wants to know the picture with Sebastian without the glasses. You asked for that to be photoshopped so people could see what he looked like without glasses, just in case those are possibly his. That is correct.
Yes, ma'am.
Joining me right now, a special guest, Courtney.
Okay, so Chris did want, he wanted a flyer, or I don't know if he wanted that flyer specifically, but he did want, I might do that. Lisa, I might do that. You know, he wanted it without the glasses. So, and in my opinion, the photo that the TBI has for the Amber Alert he looks a lot younger versus the one without his glasses, right? He looks, did I say, I said Chris, sorry. Seth said he wanted the new photo, right? But, you know, you can't put the TBI, which Seth never said to do. So I'm just as suspicious as mom as oh, absolutely, Bobby J. I'm absolutely. Listen. Absolutely. They say the dark comes out into the light, I suppose. Yeah, none of us ever. Yeah, the picture is not exactly, Angela. The picture is not the problem. And I agree. I think that we should certainly you know, put the picture on. It's just that we can't put something with TBI's logo with that, right? But there's a timestamp receipt in the Amber Alert photo. It's cropped out. There's a timestamp receipt in the Amber. I don't know what you mean by that, Hiju. I don't think it's photoshopped. Have you ever tried to get... yeah, he'll come on. He'll come on. That's not a problem. I mean, I've got his number and stuff. I just, you know, I can ask it behind. I mean, he'll come on. It's not a problem. He's wore out though. That's the thing. Like, he's really wore out. And I know we all want as much information from him as possible. In the original photo, there's a Costco receipt. Oh, interesting. Katie looks beat down. Yeah, I bet you Katie is. Because they are constantly, I just think they're holding on to a lot. What did that say? Like my granny says, it all comes out in the wash. It all comes out in the wash. All right, guys. It's almost 11 o'clock. I'm going to jump. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for being here. I may be live later on my third channel. It's called Hey Sweet Tea. And it's got a picture of a little red tea kettle. If you want to join me over there, join me. It's where I talk about whatever I want. It's nothing, there's no plans on that or anything like that. You're welcome to join me over there. All they did in Photoshop is tell the program to remove the glasses. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right, guys. Love you all. Thank you for being here. Where is Seth live at? I think it's on TikTok. Hold on, let me find it. Justin on TikTok. Justin on TikTok. That's the channel name. Justin on TikTok. All right, guys. Love you all. See you later. Good night. God bless.